between Kansas and North Carolina. I think this is going to be a great game. I don't know what to expect. Here's the thing. Here's what I got for you, right? Let me grab this real quick. Hold on. Throw this over there. And all right. Kansas and North Carolina for the national championship on Monday night, right? Looking forward to it. All around defense with Kansas against Armando Bacot and company in North Carolina, and all around offense, right? I'm not saying all time. I don't think necessarily. I definitely think Kansas has the best defense in all of college basketball this season by far, right? I mean, they're just that good. Does North Carolina have the best offense? No, but it's pretty darn close. You know, I hope this does come down to the wire. In fact, I think that it will, and we'll get to that in a second. Um, when you look back and we went through the North Carolina Duke game, right? And I told you, and you saw the stats, 5 of 22 was what Duke was in their three-pointers, right? You got to do that with Kansas, and it is going to be hard. You got to contain them on the outside. You got to block in the paint. You can't let them give up. You can't let them, take advantage. Because again, Kansas has some guys that can score. This is going to be probably a very historic matchup tomorrow night on Monday. I'm so excited. I don't know where to start. I'm just now seeing this matchup predictor too and the spread. It's a 4-point spread in favor of Kansas. Don't blame me there. The over-under is 152. The percentage, 70.5%. It's nowhere near 50-50. I understand. You have an all-time dominant team here in Kansas who's 33-6. You have a 29-9 team in North Carolina who's an 8 seed. A Cinderella type of season, if you will, right? Are they the Cinderella team that people maybe didn't expect to get here? This is this will be historic. Not necessarily. I mean, if Kansas wins, right? It has been quite some. I think I saw yesterday, and we talked about it. I think it was maybe 2007 was their last title. So it's been a little while, but it's not like it's been forever. North Carolina. Hold on. Last time, someone let me know in the comments. Remind me when North Carolina's last. Let's see. Last time UNC won a championship. Let's find this out. Tar Heels have won 6 championship. 2017. I knew it was pretty recent. So North Carolina, they've been in this position before. Of course they have. Hubert Davis is in his first season, though. To be a first-year head coach in the national championship has got to be something special, right? I mean, it's so incredible. They have had so many all-time players. You're talking James Worthy, Vince Carter, Mike Jordan. I mean, you're talking about all of those guys went to North Carolina and have won championships and done this, done that, right? It's so – I mean, Roy Williams was a legendary coach in what he did for them. Made the Final Four back-to-back years. I remember in 08 and 09, made it in 15 or 16, 17. Now they're here in 2022. There's a lot at stake tomorrow night, or Monday night, whatever, whenever you're watching this back. But, and again, the game is on at 9:20 Eastern. It'll be 8:20 my time. Yes, I plan on going live and streaming this game for all of you. What do I expect to happen? Overall, it's so hard. And we'll get to this in a second, actually. Let me set that aside, what I was fixing to say. I think it does come down to the wire in a way, right? The saying defense wins championships is key. Yes. And I think that's going to play a big factor, right? But it's not always about talent. It's not always about just coaching. It's everything all at once. Um, Here's the thing. You have Kansas. This kind of makes my point in a way. Kansas, who is just overall the better team, even if they lose on Monday night. North Carolina is a better team because they won. But would you still say, even if they lose, Kansas is still one of the best teams this season? Probably the best team, especially what they've done defensively? I think so. You have a 1-8 seed. North Carolina's fixing a cap an incredible. And again, like I say, I don't know. Define what a Cinderella team is. Is an 8 seed a Cinderella team? I don't know. Let me see. When's the last time a number 8 seed won the national title? Butler Bulldogs in 2011, 2014. So that's something historic if North Carolina pulls this off. They're an 8 seed. They're in a championship. They go win a championship. That is huge. That is something historic. That is something amazing. That's something that hasn't been done in such a long time. Again, look at this real quick. Look at the matchup predictor, right? You look at this. 70.5% chance that Kansas wins. I do not blame this for being like this because of who Kansas is. And you can call me crazy. I really think Carolina can get it done. Maybe call it crazy if you want, right? Maybe. And I don't blame you. It's not, it's not that North Carolina can't win, but it's Kansas, right? Let's look at some team stats here, right? Kansas is on a 10-game win streak. UNC's won 5 tournament games. They're on a win streak of 5 right now. 78 points per game is what both of these teams are averaging, right? Kansas is giving up only 60. UNC is giving up 68, right? In any of these categories, well, only in rebounds. And I do think it's going to play a huge factor. Only in rebounds is where UNC outrights Kansas. They have more assists, they have more blocks, they have more steals, better field goal percentage, and just barely by 0.3, which doesn't really matter, points per game, right? The only other thing is UNC is a better rebounding team. And I mentioned yesterday and a little earlier, I do think rebounds are a big deal. Watch Armando Bacot, who is their lead scorer. Watch a guy like Caleb Love. Watch RJ Davis. Brady Manek, who had a heck of a game against Duke. Watch him on defense. Watch him drive inside and try to shoot a couple baskets. The spread is 4. The over-under is 152. It's at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans, by the way, Louisiana. How do I put this? Man, I'm excited to see what happens. I really am. It's tough to call, but sometimes, folks, you get those situations. You get those moments. And sometimes, what I'm talking about, you get those situations, you get those games in sports, or you could even just put it in life. You ever been doubted? Or vice versa, you ever been the favorite, the ultimate favorite? Not that you're unbeatable, but you're still at that level, or you feel like you're at that level where nobody can compete with you. You've worked your tail off to get to where you are at the top of the chain, the ladder, whatever. You ever just been in that situation? You ever just work your tail off to get there, right? That's Kansas. Now, North Carolina's worked hard to get to where they are. But the fact that Kansas is a 1 seed, they're all the way at the top, they're prepared, they got the talent, they're just a better team. They're just better than North Carolina. Better teams always winning in basketball, right? And you have a better game. Kansas is going to show up. North Carolina is going to show up too. Here's what I think is going to happen, folks. It comes down to the wire. I do believe that defense does win championships. I think we've seen that in sports history so much. I still think that's kind of the same way in football, even though I know that, we talk about, it's an offensive era, right? Look, I still believe it to be true, though. And hear me out on my prediction. And if I'm wrong, just call me out on it. I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world. This isn't the regular season. This is March Madness. We see Cinderella teams all the time. We see some teams complete it. We see most times they don't. But this year, I just got to call it. And this is not easy. But I got a gut feeling, and I hope I'm right, because this would be cool for a first-year head coach. I'm going to say North Carolina wins it. Now, hear me out. I think that they're fearless. I think they're a dangerous team. I think they've been on a mission to do stuff like this and make it this far. Like, they did not come this far for nothing. Neither did Kansas. Don't get it twisted now. I'm not throwing Kansas on the back burner here. It would not surprise me if they won. The only thing that would surprise me is if this is a blowout, either way, right? Like, this better not be a early season type of basketball classic where a team blows a team out like 80-50 or something. It better not be like that, and I doubt it. I'll be shocked, and I will be live for the game tomorrow night, by the way. Overall, I'll say this. Kansas does have the defense, and I think they got a great offense too. But I think that it comes down to just overall teamwork, togetherness, and I think that I've seen a lot of that with North Carolina. I've seen a lot of it with a lot of teams. A lot of teams have teamwork, great character, toughness, leadership, all of that. But Hubert Davis has just done something so special in his first year, right? And it hasn't been too long since they won the title. Yes, I'm picking North Carolina with an upset, right? And again, I'll show you real quick that the spread is a 4-point spread. I could see that. This will not be a shootout. This isn't going to be like an 85-80 or anything, because both these teams have great defenses. It's not going to be like, South Carolina, UConn, or anything that we have had with, like tonight with the women's game. It's not going to be like that. It's not. This will come down to the wire. Technically, based on the score, and I'll get to it in a second, I do have it as a 2-possession game, right? And hear me out when I explain how I feel about this. I have North Carolina winning. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it up. I got the Tar Heels winning 71-67 over the Kansas Jayhawks. Now, Kansas does have a better defense. Even if they lose tomorrow night, and I'm right, they still had a better defense all year long and probably the best in college basketball, right? A 4-point spread. I think it comes down to this, right? You got Ochai Agbaji, and you got Wilson, you got Harris, you got all these guys for Kansas. You got all of that, right? UNC, right? Brady Manek had 5 blocks against Duke. Now, I'm not saying if he had that many against one team, he's going to have more or whatever against the other. I think he's going to get some. I think he's going to get his hands on the ball tomorrow night. I think he's going to get a block or two in there. He's a relentless and fearless competitor, Brady Manek of North Carolina. It's going to be incredible to watch. Again, I wish both these teams best of luck. I really don't care who wins. I don't. I'm just going with the bold claim, going with my gut, and saying the Cinderella team this year in North Carolina can and will get it done. 71-67, again, a 4-point game. I see a lot of defense. I also see that both these teams have great offense. Some points got to be scored, right? It ain't hard to get some baskets in there. They will. You'll get some free throws, some fouls. This will be a great game. I really, that's truly on that mission. A first-year head coach in a championship, you don't think that this team's going to be so hyped up in this game. Man. Wow. This is going to be awesome. I'm excited to see it. What's up, Jeff? What's up, Crimson? Good to see you guys in the comments. 71-67 is the final score I'm going with. The Kansas Jayhawks will ultimately falter. I'm sorry. Bill Self, amazing coach for Kansas. Amazing coach. He can win this game. I would not be surprised. It wouldn't even upset. I don't care who wins. I'm just going with predictions. It happens. Some people are picking North Carolina. I just think it's a motivational thing. I just think that they've been on a mission. They're that Cinderella team, even though it's an 8 seed, Elite 8, whatever. They've come so far. I mean, look, we had Gonzaga 31-0 last season, and they lost to a 2-loss team in Baylor. And this is a little different, but this isn't Kansas is not in the position of Gonzaga where they literally beat every team. They are vulnerable. Again, they're 33-6. They've lost games, obviously not in this tournament, but, they have lost some games. Integrity, grit, togetherness, that want to go out and win big time. I just think that the Tar Heels have a team with love, integrity, grit, togetherness, that want to go out and win big time basketball games. And I think they get it done on Monday night. And I think you're going to see that happen. Again, 71-67 is the final score I'm going with. And I'm going with the 8 seed over the number 1 Kansas Jayhawks. Again, number 8, North Carolina Tar Heels, 71. Number 1 Kansas, 67. Give me an upset. Go Tar Heels. I said it.